looks like we are all set to go. So, it has been a few months since we had the opportunity to return here to the Rising Stones and tell Tataru and Kryl of what's going on with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn who are stuck in the First. Tonight, we get to see the continuation of this story as patch 5.2 has been released. So hey there Miguel, Elizabeth, and to everyone else that's just logging on, we're glad to have you with us here tonight. So, greetings people of the world, Matthias Griffin back with you for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers live. And, for the first time ever, it gives me the great honor and privilege to let you know that this stream is being broadcast in 1080p 60 frames per second. Meaning if you want to see the best picture ever for a stream on this channel, then you can go onto settings and make that choice to switch over to 1080p 60 and see this in full HD. So, how amazing is it that I'm wanting to do this for the first time ever? Why don't we find out? Kryl will have the opening quest for us in patch 5.2's main story, so let's go ahead and speak with her to take on the quest entitled Old Enemies, New Threats. Kryl is glad for your return, though it remains to be seen if she has glad tidings to share. Shinji, my, what a pleasant surprise! If you've come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing the corporeal ether. While we mustn't grow complacent, however, potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If we could only go with you to the first and help! Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Who goes there? Yeah, it's her old friend Maxima from the Guardian Empire who got basically thrown to the wolves, as it were. Ah, Shinji, it has been far too long, my friend. Yeah, good to see you too there, Maxima. Oh, hold on here. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garminian ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Aldin, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Yeah, we met him back in Stormblood. Oh yes, I've heard stories of a defector from Garlemald. But never mind that, you say you have urgent news? Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Guardian forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dock. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. Well, that's good news for us. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Why is that? Commander Alden has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extend this invitation. Clearly. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, if you'll not be attending this meeting alone, though I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades, I see no reason to burden a single Scion with all this. Alright then. Yes, of course, though we must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. Wait, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two! Yeah. Don't worry, Tataru. We know you'll hold the fort down over here at the Rising Stones. And yeah, Guardians bow like Meolelazin do. So, off we go to Alamigo. Yeah, perfectly understandable there, Elizabeth. It was something I wanted to do earlier today on Twitch, and so I did that, and so now that that's been taken care of, we're now over here. So let's head off to where everyone else is going to be. As Shinji takes a ride on the Sophia bird. So we'll arrive down here where we will hopefully see Maxima arriving any moment now. Oh, with a whole bunch of other people. Yeah, how is everyone tonight for the launch of patch 5.2? Hey there, Maxima, can you see me? Commander Olden awaits us in the Royal Palace. If you would follow me. Lead on then. So, once inside, there's Raubon. And who's he talking to? Well, it's a face we know all too well. So you survived again, Gaius?
They're here, Commander.
Yeah. Will nothing kill this man? And where's Alphino? Or, not him.
Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark.
Yeah, not Alphino, it's Stenian. Yeah, where's he?
Not that I understand half of it. When the Scions spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury.
Indeed.
I trust you two require no introduction.
Or his two friends, either.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
It's like, do you really have to be here?
Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
And what would that be?
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions.
Can never be too careful, eh, General?
We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
Alright then. You got my attention.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape.
So sadly,
When
we don't know where he is.
reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right.
So what are you going to tell us about?
The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
Ah, man.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
And which Edie was able to successfully defeat.
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing.
And got your butt kicked from pillar to post.
But you know as well as I how that tale ended.
Oh yeah.
The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets. And that should have been the end of it.
Yeah, it should have. Unfortunately.
But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit. Primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Apparently not.
Indeed, few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanus, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea.
Perfect. Yeah, this is
We
bad
attempted
timing.
to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow progress. So we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did. Though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
Yeah, we can't have that luxury now, can we?
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope.
Well,
Before you say
I'm here to
anything,
do what I need to do.
I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you and you alone have faced the Ultima weapon and emerged victorious. We need you.
Everyone does.
And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
I'm guessing that's him.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
Even though they certainly will. Yeah, even as you endure the ignominy. Yeah. Our job here is done. We've told you what we
I too
needed
shall
to
make to the
do,
boardroom
and we're
for
off.
my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Hopefully sooner rather than later. But thanks for letting us know about everything there, Maxima.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
I hope so too. And so away we go. So yeah, let's head on out and speak with Kralk to complete this quest. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. Indeed it is. Especially as we see more people all piling up here. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day the plight of the Science grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. I believe we can do that. So we'll go ahead and take our 1,611 gil and complete this first quest. So let's move right along to take on Kryle's next quest entitled The Way Home. Kryle can see the steely resolve in your eyes and suspects she knows to where duty calls you. I take it you're ready to return to the first? Then I will ask that you apprise the others of recent events here in the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you may assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ether stable. Safe travels, Shinji. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. I hope so too there, Kryle. Yeah, because you guys have enough on your hands as it is. So let's make now for the Crystarium. And thus we've arrived at the first. So let's make our way directly to the Docile Gates. And so let's head on up the stairs and make our way into the Ocular. Because yeah, this quest in terms of things to do will not take very long. Let's head right on in. Hey there, Exarch. Good to see you again. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and a means to return to the Scion's home. I trust you two have been making good use of your time. Well, we have a lot to talk about. Ill tidings from the source, you say? Then I will summon the others that we might all be apprised of the situation. Alright then. Yeah, you're not gonna like it. So, sometime later, we have some of the Scions coming back, but not all of them, and they are accompanied by a Becklug. Yeah, we'll only have 3 of them this time around.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source?
Yeah. Hey guys, I've got some bad news to tell you.
A new Ultima weapon? We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
Of course.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Yeah, which comes
Then
over
let
to
us
you.
address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion.
Let's hope so.
Thanks in large part to Urianger and Becklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
And what does he have?
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one.
Well, that's good.
An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will. However,
what? Yeah, it wasn't going to be that simple, right?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel.
How do you plan on doing this?
I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
as well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
Well, let's hope you're right.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
Yeah, you better make sure you do that.
My apologies.
Oh, hello there. Ah, Captain Lena, it's been a while since we've seen you.
That mortal peril fast approaches.
I hope so too.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness.
Okay.
But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Okay.
why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Private reasons?
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Alright then. And so we'll go ahead and take our 1,694 gil, plus our choice of food or money, which for 500 gil apiece, we could have gotten that stuff back over in the Lane of Eorzea. So we'll go ahead and choose between the King Salmon Meunier, the creamy salmon pasta, or the rare roast beef, which in my situation, the salmon pasta will work best. And so now we've apprised the Scions of the current situation. So now let's proceed to speak with Alphanode and take on our next quest entitled Seeking Counsel. Alphanode is eager to assist Captain Lena. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it would be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? Alright then. So let's go outside and join them. I think the biggest thing about this, streaming this the way that I am to my new PC for the first time, is that I won't have to rely on my editing the way that I've normally done it before. And which will allow me to get things edited a lot more quickly than usual. So, let's go ahead and speak with Lena. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Another one? Are they still around? A Sin Eater? I'd heard some few yet remained after the night of return, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater. A simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Yeah, let's be about that then. Or me? Why not Alphanode? No, let's be about it then. They really want me that badly. Excellent. Then let us make for a fort job. Very well then. So off we go to Lakeland. Extremely glad to have you with us. They added 2. Yeah, they didn't just add 1, they added 2. So yeah, over here is where Lena is. If you'll wait here a moment, I will gather the others. Alright then. Yeah, she's in a hurry to do it. Yeah, bringing in the reinforcements. Hello there. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they waited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door that day after the Seniors was attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd likely have stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. And in the middle, I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field, of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades, and so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. And on the far end, a pleasure to meet you, sir. Truly, it seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight to Strada Namara to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think the Yulmoran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side, but we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. Even as the sun goes down. And so, we seem to be missing one. Yeah, wherever they could they be. And without a helmet, no less. My honest apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. Well, it was an elderly gentleman. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. Yeah. Speaking of, it won't happen again. The name's Stella. I'm sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. Yeah, back a long time ago. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up. Don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the nice return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. Yeah, there were. They gave their lives to the promise of a future they'll never know. And so, it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up, we won't give in! Yeah, they are very determined, obviously. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardians in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not yet had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. Indeed. Actually, they never did there, Elizabeth. They added an extra race in Heavensward, that being the Aura, and then here in Shadowbringers, they added the Viera and the Rothgar. So it's time for us to go where the next group of Crystarium guards are located. And they're not that far from Holminster Switch. So let's go find them and meet them. And they should be arriving at any time. Here they are. And so upon our arrival... Oh, looks like they already beat us to the punch. Hello there.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
He sounds a lot like Oyanje, doesn't he?
By himself. Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, "Who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?" And he says, "No, I'm a warrior of light." And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
What's going on here?
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood.
Yeah, but...
I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him. The Warrior of Darkness.
Hey?
Yeah, he realizes...
Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Yeah, look how happy they all are to see me. And there goes the Sin Eater, or what's left of them.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
Yeah, we didn't even need to engage in combat. And away they go.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
So what do you make of this?
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood.
Sadly.
The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But
Yeah,
that
it
is
is
neither
weird,
here
isn't
nor
it?
there. I thank you for accompanying me.
You're welcome.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Very well. Just go back the way we came.
Forgive me. There is one more thing.
And what would that be?
A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
I believe we can set aside time for you.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Hey April, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. In this expansion, Karu is when the title changes. So let's go ahead and speak with Lena to complete this quest. Patch was new launched today, April.
Words. This matter concerns the Exarch.
What's
Though
wrong?
his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time.
So you're obviously worried for him. Fair enough.
But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
Well, that's one indicator of it.
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true.
Yeah. Instead of yearning to die, now he yearns to live. His life has been given actual purpose.
It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy.
Well, that's good, right?
It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there.
So what's the
Though
worry?
it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
Incidentally, a few hours ago I was talking with Yuna and Shima. They told me an exactly similar story about someone we know all too well in real life. Pretty much word for word. Anchors keep us where we have to be chosen to be, or he's lost without you, you know, and he misses you already. Yeah. Let's go with the more... I don't think he's the sentimental type.
Is that so? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been.
Well, you do work for him.
What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work.
Well, he is
This
dedicated to his
research is
craft.
important, I know. But if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
And so we'll take our 1,245 gil for completing this quest.